Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world, online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Thursday, September 14th, 2023. On Monday, September 11th, Sheriff's Dispatch received a 911 call from a man in Landers saying his vehicle was stuck in soft sand and he was unfamiliar with the area and lost. Deputies working in the county area of Morongo Basin began an extensive search with the information provided, according to the sheriff's press release. The sheriff's helicopter unit assisted with the search, which lasted until the late evening hours. Around 9 p.m., a single camper near the Johnson Valley dry lake bed reported seeing a male stranded near Giant Rock Road and Makiska Boulevard. Deputies went to this location and found Stan Eisman, a 70-year-old resident of Landers. Deputies transported Eisman to his residence where he was united with friends and family. Cell phone coverage out in the high desert can be spotty in places, with many areas like the national park having no cell phone coverage at all. When out exploring the Mojave, let someone know where you are and keep an eye on your phone's bars. It can be a long hike to a service area. Always bring more water than you think you need and get familiar with your car's limits on dirt roads and stay out of deep sand like washes and open desert. The year was 1987. An animated series called The Simpsons made its debut. Dirty Dancing was heating up the screen, and Rick Astley was on the airwaves insisting he was never going to give you up. It's a flashback theme for this year's Pioneer Days in 29 Palms. Reporter and former 80s child Heather Clisby fills us in.
Based entirely on numerological coincidence, this year's 87th annual Pioneer Days in 29 Palms is slated to be not only bodacious, but totally tubular, with the theme Party Like It's 1987. The local tradition that began in 1936 is getting the rad makeover due to a repeat of the number 87. First, in the 87th year of celebration. Also, the city was incorporated in 1987, and the same year that U2's Joshua Tree album was released. Pioneer Days will feature events such as a carnival, a parade, park concerts, Little Pioneers, Children's Day, outhouse races, old-timers gathering, Wild West hoedown, kickball tournament, pancake breakfast, and a pet parade. Organizers are seeking vendors for both the Pioneer Days kickoff on October 7th and Pioneer Days weekend from October 19th to the 22nd. You can find the vendor applications in a link in the story at Z107.7fm.com. Deadline for the application submission for Pioneer Days kickoff is Thursday, September 21st. The deadline for the Pioneer Days weekend is Friday, September 29th. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Heather Clisby.
If you put off doing your taxes due to the automatic extension granted to San Bernardino County residents, this is a reminder that you have a little over a month to finish up your paperwork before the extended federal tax deadline of October 16th. You can file your taxes for free using IRS Free File, which is also available through the extended deadline. Find links for those resources on our website, z1077fm.com. On last Friday's Up Close show, Gary Daniel spoke with 29 Palms High School principal Michael Ruggiero. Among many other positives for 29 Palms High, Ruggiero discussed their many high school clubs that celebrate diversity, as well as their international festival. Simon reporter Gabriel Hart takes a closer look at this enlightening conversation.
Ruggiero describes 29 Palms High School as a, quote, very inclusive community, unquote. This inclusivity, which includes taking care of often marginalized students and military families, is the Wildcat way, says Ruggiero, referring to the school's Wildcat mascot. When further prompted by Daniel about ways 29 Palms celebrates diversity, Ruggiero replied,
The diversity that you're referring to is a strength of our school community. We have many clubs. Many of our clubs, the Pacific Islander clubs.
I'm going to talk to you about the I-Fest and the different clubs, but I-Fest is something the school does every year that celebrates that diversity. Mm-hmm. Tell us how that works.
Absolutely. One of the forces of nature on our campus is Lisa Solis, our library tech, but she is the advisor for several clubs on campus. The Black Music and Arts Club, the Pacific Islanders Club, the Crocheting for a Cause Club. We have so many clubs. It's fantastic. But once a year, we celebrate our diversity and inclusiveness on campus with our international festival, which was started, I want to say it was about 20 or 30 years ago. Terry Berge always announces at the assembly the history of it, and our former activities director, Terry Berge, had previously. But there are performances, there are dances done, there are singing performances. It's really an exploration of the cultures that are represented at 29 Palms High School. And then my second favorite part is the food festival that takes place afterwards, where we have the best lumpia in town. We have great, Hispanic food. We have great, all the clubs make it a fundraiser by having food booths after school. And it's just a wonderful event.
The festival also includes soul food, Japanese, Chinese, Italian food, and an array of desserts. 29 Palms High School's next International Fest, or iFest, is scheduled for February 15th, 2024. Reporting for Z107.7, this is assignment reporter Gabriel Hart.
Renowned local plant expert and ecologist Christina Sanchez will be the guest on the Z107.7 Up Close show with Gary Daniel this Friday at 10 a.m. Sanchez will introduce us to some of the native plants that make up our iconic desert landscape. She'll talk about their unique attributes and modern uses. Morongo Basin herbalist Christina Sanchez of Every Leaf Speaks on the Z107.7 Up Close show this Friday. Poet Jody Hollander's free poetry sessions in Joshua Tree National Park are from September 22nd to the 24th at various locations. Each session will be held at a unique place and draw from the park's beauty. Here is reporter Hillary Sloan with the specifics of each class and how to sign up.
The first session on September 22nd at Caprock from 4 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. is landscape poetry, drawing inspiration from the park's natural beauty. This workshop allows participants to explore nature and turn their observation into powerful and vivid poems. The second session, The Poetry of Grief and Healing, will be held on September 23rd at Black Rock Nature Center from 12 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. In this workshop, participants discuss examples of celebrated poems that tackle these complex topics and study effective techniques for channeling pain into poetry. The third session, Narrative Poetry, is on September 24th at Caprock from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Participants will examine their narratives through writing prompts and turn them into poems. This course will consider tempo, pacing, and effective use of line breaks and is for anyone interested in poetry and storytelling. Advanced registration will be required for all sessions and is limited to 25. To register, please email ian_Chadwick@nps.gov. For Z107.7 FM, this is reporter Hillary Sloan.
The Kiwanis Club is coming to Yucca Valley. The mission of the Kiwanis Club is to improve the world one child and community at a time. And on Tuesday, September 19th at 6 p.m., an informational session is being held at the Yucca Valley Community Center. The club would take on service projects such as Adopt a Street Cleanup, bicycle rodeos, sponsor groups such as Boy Scouts and the Boys and Girls Club, scholarships at high schools for seniors, and summer reading programs at the library, amongst other community-based actions. The club would ultimately decide what projects they would like to do and talk to the community about needs the club could help with. If you want info on becoming a Yucca Valley Kiwana, come to the Yucca Valley Community Center Mesquite Room on Tuesday, September 18th at 6 p.m. The 29 Palms High School girls varsity tennis team traveled to Palm Springs to play the Indians on Wednesday. The Lady Cats won 10-8. In singles action, Caitlin Luke won 1 set, Aviana Lipkins won 2 sets, and Zamia Abril won 2 sets. In doubles actions, the team of Marley Kyle and Addie Simmons won 2 of their sets. The team of Carrie Scott and Tomi Toyama won 2 sets, and the team of Carrie Scott and Amara Banerjee won 1 set. The Lady Cats are 4-1. They host Desert Mirage on Thursday. Go Lady Cats! And that's your local news. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting from the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 News, I'm Robert Hayden.